Hello friends, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be creating a collapsible section and we'll be only using HTML and CSS, no JavaScript. So everything like collapsing, expanding, that caret moving to the right and moving to the bottom, everything will be handled by HTML CSS. So let's get started. I've already collapsed my JS panel. So let's head to the HTML. So first I will need a container for all our this feature. So I will name it as accordion. Now I will be needing a heading, so I'll be using label. I will tell you why I'm using label later on. So heading we can keep like a click me to expand, and we need to provide some text which it will be expanding. So I'm creating div here for that extra text. So here we can paste some lorem ipsum text. So let me switch to there. I'll copy some of the text from here till here. Okay, this is fine. Let it come here. Okay, so here now you can see those heading and text. So let me increase the font size so that it becomes more visible. Fine. And for the div, yeah, it looks fine. So a little bit we can more beautify our this panel. So let me do that. So at heading we can add a background color, and we can make it light blue. Yeah, so now you can see that background color, but it is limiting to the text width. So let me make it display block. So here you can see now it is stretching to the whole panel. Another thing I want is to change the cursor here, so I can make it cursor pointer. It will give me a hand here, like whenever I hover. And let's add some padding. Yeah, this looks fine. And padding I think we can add below also, so that it keeps in a line. Yeah. And to the whole accordion we can add a border. Yeah, now it looks bit more better. So this is our heading, this is our collapsible text. And one more thing we have to add is a caret, so which will be like by default it will be towards the right, and this text will not be there, extra text. And when we click on this heading, that caret will point downwards, right, and our text will be showing at that time. So let's start adding a caret. So for that I'll be using a pseudo class element for label. So label before frontend. So to create that caret triangle thing, I will be using border trick. Goes like this. Border. So first I will be defining border width. Let's say 10 pixel. Then I'll be defining border style that I want solid. The main thing which will be creating this triangle will be the border color. So if you see currently it's black in color here by default, so we'll change that. So border color, I will start from transparent, as at the top I need transparent color. then right also, then bottom also, and the left side I want black. So it is forming a triangle but little bit stretched in height. So for that we can do height 0. Okay, didn't work. So font size also we can add. Yeah. So now we have this triangle, and just we need to place it at the center. Like so, for that we'll be making it absolute. And to make it absolute, we need label to be relative. Let me collapse the HTML part. So label I have done position relative, and this before part I can make position absolute. Right. So now I can move it to the center. I just need to mention top, and maybe it is 20 pixels. Yes, it looks fine. And we just need this text to be appearing little bit from the right. So for that we'll be adding padding here. Padding is already there, so I'll be modifying it. So right, bottom, and from the left I need 30 pixels. This looks fine. Now here I have to define left also. So from left it will start from 10 pixel, and I think from top it 18 will be much better. Yes. So now we have created the caret, right? And our whole HTML is ready. Like we have caret, heading, and the collapsible text. Now let's jump to the functionality. So first thing we'll be doing is moving this caret upside down, right? So for that we'll be using animation, and we'll be rotating it using transform. But before that we need an identifier, like to identify the clicks on this heading. So for that, let me jump to the HTML again. So you remember I have taken label as a heading here. So this is because we'll be using input checkbox as our identifier of the click. So let's code it. So input type checkbox, and I will provide an ID to it. So this ID will be utilized by this label, so that whenever I click the label, it checks and or unchecks the checkbox. Let me expand. Yeah. So now you see there is a input box here, checkbox, and let me click here. So see, whenever I click this heading, this input box is getting checked and unchecked. So using this input box checked property, we can show or hide this text and rotate this caret down, right? So let's do it. So first thing, we will need to hide this input because this doesn't look better there. So what I'll be doing, input display none. So you see that is gone away, right? Now we have to use this input check property to move the caret. So let's go down here, and I'll be writing the identifier like input checked. If input is checked, then the label before should rotate, transform, rotate by I think 90°. Yeah, so currently that is checked, so it went downwards. And let me click here. Yeah, so it's working, but it's jumping too much. So for that I can add transition at the label before here. So transition we can define transform, because we are transforming it, and for 1 second. Let's see. Oh, it's very slow. Let's make it 0.5. Yeah, this looks fine. But if you see, the center of this rotation is not correct, right? So this currently this tip is the center and it's moving around that. So I want to move this center to center of this triangle. So for that I'll be using transform origin property. So let's do that. So with transform origin we can change the center. So I think 3 pixel center will be fine. Let's see. Yeah, so now its center is the center of this triangle, right? And it looks fine. So this is the property to make that. Now the next thing is hiding this text, right? Hiding and showing this text. So for that also I will be using this identifier. So if this is checked, then show the div. But by default we have to hide the div. So this is our div and we can make it hide 0 and overflow hidden. Oh, okay. So because this happened because we have div here also. So what we can do, we can add a class before it so that we target it correctly. Accordion div should be like this. So it's hiding, but still some of the part is showing. So what we can do, we can add opacity also 0. And still we are seeing some space, right? So this padding, if we remove from here, yeah, so now it looks fine. It's just sticking to the heading part, that border. So now we can add the properties here to the div whenever the input is checked. So what we can do, first we can do opacity 1 so that it shows up, and we can make height auto. Yes, so you can see it is coming up. So padding we removed from top, so we can add it here back. Yes, so it looks fine. Let's see how it is working. Yeah, great. So now if you see that text is also hiding and Caret is also working. And if you see, I'm able to select this text, and whenever I click, that cursor is appearing, right? So this you can avoid by doing this one line. So you can add user select none, and it will not show the cursor. Even you cannot select the text, right? So this looks better. So this was the tutorial, guys. So if you like this tutorial, please like the video and subscribe the channel. And till our next tutorial, take care. Bye bye.